Stand by for Bwana.org radio. In 3, 2, 1. Cue the announcer.
You found Bwana.org radio, your one source for tech news and reviews. Now, almost live from sunny Florida, here's your host, Bwana McCall.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to episode 241 of Bwana.org radio. We got a great show lined up for you. Only eight bookmarks to talk about today. It's going to be a rather short show. I don't try to do these too often, but I was looking through the news. There was a lot to talk about in general, but it was like, I don't want to talk about that. Sometimes I get that way. I'm just like, it just seems like some stories are just overdone by people out there. I was looking for things that you guys might be interested in and things that I could probably talk about without getting tired of hearing myself. I have issues. Deep-rooted issues. Anyway, we got a great show lined up for episode 241 of Bwana.org radio. Go to bit.ly, bit.ly/BDOR241. You can get a copy of all the bookmark links. I'm using pinboard.in for that particular service, and it's a fairly nifty bookmarking sharing site. I'll talk about it in a video sooner or later. This coming weekend, I will be celebrating my birthday, where I'll be 70 years old. So my wife and I are going to have some fun. I don't know what she has planned for me. She has that smirk on her face, so I just hope I don't lose any body parts during the process. I hope, I come back, not with a limp or without a foot or something. But I'll be celebrating my birthday this weekend, so you guys won't be seeing much of me. Well, you probably will see some of me online. I don't know. I tend to not avoid people on my birthday as much as I should. But my wife, she might think differently of that. Anyway, we got a great show, a great, like Tony the Tiger, great show lined up for episode 241 of Bwana.org radio.
It's time for Bwana.org radio's tech news for this week.
And for our first story, we're going to be talking about Mag. I did a massive review of Mag for the PS3. It used to be called Massive Action Game, and to me, it's always going to be called Massive Action Game. But the good news is, if you're a player of Mag, I play Mag quite a bit, and if you play Mag, you probably have been wondering, where is the DLC? When is the DLC going to be coming? The game has been out for a little while. So that question has come up plenty of times, especially when we talk about Modern Warfare 2 DLC and we talk about Battlefield Bad Company 2, quote-unquote, DLC. What about Mag? Well, it was announced today that our friends at Mag are going to be coming out with their first batch of downloadable content, not really a patch per se, but downloadable content, and it's going to be absolutely free. I think this is good news. A lot of us who play Mag have been anxious to see some of the downloadable content that's coming. And to hear that it's going to be free, I think it's going to speak volumes to the community. It's probably going to increase the user community. People who kind of put Mag down and started playing something else, they might come back to it. So the DLC is going to include a bunch of things. It's going to be dubbed the Trooper Gear Pack. The Trooper Gear Pack. And it's going to include a flashbang grenade, so you can blind players now. It's also going to include 3 new guns. Well, 1 new gun per PMC. It's Raven's Apex 100 SC. These are LMGs, light machine guns. Sever's RTK-74 VLA. And Valor's MK46 Mod 1. Now, I am not a gun person, so I have no idea what these guns are. But the website that I'm listing here has pictures of them. You can click on them and get a zoomed-in picture on Flickr. And you're also going to be getting new Trooper uniforms. So there are going to be 2 additional uniforms per PMC. That's going to be Trooper Dark and Trooper Light. They got examples here as well. So if you want to get those, you can. Now there's a bonus. But wait, there's more. There's a bonus. This thing is going to be coming out March 25th, according to this blog post. And when it does come out, Zipper is going to give us a double XP weekend, an extended double XP weekend. You log in 12 a.m. Pacific, 3 a.m. Eastern on March 25th and play Mag normally. When the match ends, you'll get double the XP. So if you've been kind of perturbed, or just, a little bit depressed about your XP gainage, or if you just hit veteran mode and you went to another PMC and you're regretting that decision and you can't wait to hit veteran again to go back, hey, this is the weekend to play. Check it out, guys. This is over on the PlayStation blog. They got details about the first Mag DLC, and like I said, the happiness in me is happy, and if you play Mag, you'll be happy as well, because we get tired of being nickel and dimed. And when people like Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Mag are offering free additional content, some of this stuff may have been included, should have been included, but when it's free, we can forgive them. When we get charged for additional maps from previous games, I'm talking to you, Modern Warfare 2, we get charged $15 for that. Then we kind of look at you with the lazy eye. Can't do the lazy eye. And we kind of wonder, what were you thinking, man? Stop charging this nickel down. Anyway, check it out. This one's over on blog.us.playstation.com. They got details over there. Next story, we're going to moving over to the Xbox 360. And today is a very, very good day if you've been looking forward to this demo. This is the Splinter Cell Conviction demo, which is now available up on Xbox Live. This came by way of MajorNelson.com. He's got his typical blog posts about new demos and things like that. It's a game that I listed in my video on Buana.tv as a contender for a top platform exclusive, if you will. Even though this game is going to be on PC, from what I read as well, it's an exclusive among the console units. So if you want to get demo on, I was thinking about downloading this to try it out. I think I have one of the Splinter Cells on the original Xbox, but I really didn't get into it. This may be an opportunity to see what they improved with the new Conviction series from these guys over here. So check it out. This is over on MajorNelson.com. He's got the details about this demo on Xbox 360. Speaking of the 360, one of the features that Buana, this guy sitting here, had been really up. I don't even know how to explain it. I was just upset with the 360 because of the accessory price. I did a video on why choose an Xbox 360 over a PS3 and vice versa. Why choose a PS3 over a 360? And one of the things I think in one of the videos I talked about the accessory prices. That's the hard drives, the extra stuff, the wireless adapter, and Microsoft tends to charge you a whole lot for that stuff, and it seems to be drastically overpriced, namely in the hard drive arena. The 360 hard drives are grossly overpriced, and the storage units are grossly overpriced. So I was really happy to see that this possibility could be happening. The Xbox 360 may be gaining support for USB storage. So yeah, this is great. Something that the PlayStation 3 does natively. You just plug in a USB stick, USB hard drive, and generally you're okay. But on the 360, it's not as easy. People have found ways around it. People have, jumped through hoops and did little dances to get USB storage to work on their 360s, but it hasn't been officially supported, and it's not something you can do out of the box easily. And space is a premium on the 360. The 360 has been touted as the console that is encouraging digital content, digital downloadable content. So you're going to have hard drive space if you want to make use of this digital downloadable content. They're saying we're not going Blu-ray because we're betting on, 1080p streaming down the line. We want our high definition content to be downloadable, but unfortunately, you need a lot of hard drive space, and they make it very expensive. For a long time, a 20 gigabyte hard drive on this thing was the price of like a 500 gigabyte drive anywhere else. So they've come out with bigger drives, but they're still overpriced. So if this is true, all right, this report from Joystick, a documentation that's showing how to configure a USB device on your 360, if this is true, I think it'll be a good addition. I think people will be more likely to buy the Xbox arcades. I think they'll be more likely to buy a 360 and know that their investment is safe with their downloadable content, the digital downloadable content. I think people will be more likely to buy movies. They'll be more likely to rent movies. They'll be more likely to, install games to their hard disk. I don't know if you want to install it to the USB disk, but you'll know that you have that backup option to a USB drive, to save your content. So I was really, really happy to see this. So check this out. This one's over on Ars Technica. They link to the Joystick article where you can get more details about the possibility of configuring USB devices on the Xbox 360.
You're listening to Bwana.org Radio, a potpourri of tech news and reviews.
The next article is about Team Fortress 2. Now, there was an update today. I'm not going to talk about that, but there was an update with Team Fortress 2 about user-generated content. And they're going to be putting a whole lot of user-generated hats and some items that people like you and I took the time out to create. So Valve is allowing the user community to contribute to the game, which is a very, very good thing. But, that's the good part of Valve, but there's also a negative part with Valve. And there's these lingering bugs with games. And one of these bugs is the almighty face stab in Team Fortress 2. The almighty face stab. And if you've ever played Team Fortress 2 and you played the spy class, you know what I'm talking about. The face stab it's an anomaly which occurs when you as a spy attempt to stab someone in the back. But for some reason or another, they turn around. Or, you're just trying to stab them to damage them, and it registers as a backstab, thereby infuriating the player that you stabbed, thereby making you grin, go, ha, face stab. They call it a face stab because it's supposed to be a backstab, but you're stabbing them in the face. So, this article, linked to by Ubercharge.net, talks about the how face stabs happen. And they break it down in terms of the player model, the hitboxes, and the collision hull. And they have a picture of a heavy here with his fists up. As you can see, you have the collision hull, which is this entire red box here. Okay. And you have hitboxes. The thing is that due to lag compensation, according to this article, and things like that, the hitboxes and the collision hull, aren't exactly accurate. And what happens is you stab someone maybe on the side or on the face, and the lag compensation may report that the player is actually looking the other way, but they're not. They're actually looking at you, so it registers as a backstab, and you face stab the person. Now, there's a detailed article here which links to technofobia.com, but I think this picture kind of explains it. If you look at the blue box, which is the hit box here, when it comes to a backstab, and you get the collision box here where anything can hit. If you think about lag compensation, I did a video on Bwana.tv about lag and ping and lag, and trying to explain it to people. The delay between the server and the client. You have things like this hitbox here, which can move based on lag. And backs can be faces, and faces can be backs. Hence, giving us the almighty face stab. So this is a great article explaining face stabs. If you're into Team Fortress 2 and the spy class, I think you'll be happy to see it. Check it out. This was over on Ubercharge.net. Now we're going to shift gears to some cell phone news, and we're going to talk about Microsoft. Now, last week, I think it was over the weekend, or it might have been Wednesday, or Tuesday or Wednesday-ish, don't remember exactly when I heard about this, but and I even reported on it last show as something that that Microsoft was taking cues from the iPhone. Remember that article? This was the whole thing about copy and paste. So it's now been revealed that Microsoft is going to eventually have copy and paste in Windows Phone 7, but they're not going to put it in the initial release. And I put a comment on Buzz about this, and I'm going to say it here. A lot of times when things get released, and I'm speaking from my own professional experience here, a lot of times when things get released, you have what's called a project plan or a Gantt chart or something like that. And features sometimes, in the requirement spec or, during the initialization of the project, you have to prioritize which features stay and which features go. And, depending on time and budget and resources, you have to say, okay, these are the critical things we want in the first release. These things must go out. And then on wave 2 or version 2, we'll add this and this, and version 3 will add this and this. It makes a lot of business sense. It's a great way to do projects. But from a consumer perspective, people don't see it from that point of view. All people can say is, how can they leave out copy and paste? How can they leave out this? How can they leave out that? And, Microsoft is going, well, we can delay it for 6 months if you can wait that long. We can't wait that long, but you can delay it for 6 months. But anyway, this article talks about that. Copy and paste is not going to be MIA forever. It's going to be absent in the first release, but it is going to be coming out eventually. This is exactly what I was telling people about Apple and their feature set. If you look at the history of the iPhone and how things came out, I could visualize the project plan in my head. It was like all these features were coming in waves. It was like, okay, this version is that, this version is that, and people sometimes they think that Apple comes up with this stuff like a week before they release it. Like, oh, we're gonna put this and this and this in this patch, release it. No, it takes a little bit more time, and it takes a lot of planning. And I can guarantee that a great majority of the features we see in the iPhone today were planned either at the initial iPhone release or a little bit shortly afterwards. Like I said, a lot of features get pushed. They're like, okay, we can't do that now. We'll do it next release. So we can't do that now. And people think they don't even consider it because they don't put it in there. And the problem is that it is considered and it is coming, but they want to do it right. If you want them to rush it in, then you'll get garbage in, garbage out. And it can be very, very frustrating as an end user. So sometimes we just have to be patient. That's the point of this whole rant here, is just be patient. A lot of times companies are considering things you want. They just can't get them to you right then and there. So check this story out. This was over on slashgear.com. And just think about what I was talking about with the iPhone and all these other phones, even Android. A lot of features in Android when it first came out weren't there. Now they're slowly starting to trickle in. As you can see, there's a release cycle going on. And you can see what's happening in the cell phone arena. SlashGear has the article over there. Now we're going to talk about Android. Speaking of Android, good news if you are an owner of the Slingbox. The Sling Player app will be coming to Android this summer. And here, they have a video here over on slashgear.com which details the prototype of what's actually happening with this. Now, I recently got this on my iPhone. I gotta say, it's pretty useful. Since they enabled 3G support on the iPhone, it's become vastly more useful than it would be with just Wi-Fi. And hopefully it'll do the same on Android. So, Sling Media and the Sling Player app will be on Android. Now, I don't know how they're going to price it. They even say it here, no word on pricing, because I went on a big rant when it came out for the iPhone. It didn't have 3G support, and they charged $30 for the app. You get a Slingbox for $100. So I was just like, wow, that's pretty hefty price. So when they came out with 3G support, I was like, okay, it's kind of worth that now. You can watch TV anywhere. Especially now with March Madness going on. I didn't mention that in the intro. The basketball tournament's going on now, so if you don't have access to a web browser or to watch it online or TV, you can bring up the Slingbox and check out the games that are going on live from live TV. So check this out. All right, Sling Player app is coming to Android, and I don't know if it's on Palm yet. I don't recall if it's on Palm yet. On the Palm OS, on the Palm Pre OS, Web OS. I'll have to look into that. I don't recall, but if they don't have it, they need to get it. Sling Player is a very, very valuable app to have. So check it out. This one's over on SlashGear.com.
You found Bwana.org Radio. Tech news and tech gadgets for the hardcore geek in all of us.
Next story is going to be about Steam. And I did a couple videos, and talked about it here on Bwana.org Radio about how Steam's coming to the Mac. And I've seen comments on YouTube, I've seen email feedback, I've seen Twitter feedback about this particular topic. Well, when is Steam coming to Linux? What about us, man? We're here as well. And this article, goes along the same lines of talking about this topic. And he breaks it down to technology. And everybody knows that Microsoft is the keeper of DirectX, which is the standard now for gaming. I remember when DirectX first came out, it wasn't. Everybody was all about OpenGL. And it was good times because the games were essentially cross-platform with the technology. OpenGL runs on just about anything. Oh, you can't say that about DirectX. So this article says, well, hopefully this announcement with Steam going to Mac will encourage software developers to port their games to OpenGL. It is a great technology. People who want to claim that OpenGL is inferior to DirectX, a lot of stuff that DirectX 11 is doing now, OpenGL was doing last year. So it is a very capable technology that is, able to handle the latest games. So check this out. And I feel your pain, Linux users. I feel your pain, Linux users. I used to try to game on Linux myself, and I didn't cave and get Transgaming Sadiga. I didn't get the wine stuff. I tried it, and I was like, man, this is not seamless. This is not, what people who are quote unquote mainstream or people who want to get a cheaper gaming platform are going to want to go through. So hopefully, if Steam comes to Linux, Steam is a great way to start gaming on a PC, whether it be Windows or Mac. Even if it comes to Linux, that opens up a whole new realm. And if they can port the games, I'm telling you this now, if you can port the games or write the games from Mac OS 10, going to Linux should not be as hard. Going to Linux will definitely be easier than going from DirectX to straight to Linux. And I've seen games that run on Mac OS 10. A lot of the architectures and structures they use, since it's a Unix OS, can be ported or rewritten for Linux fairly easily. Especially if the base OpenGL libraries are being referenced. So check this out. This one's over on streamtech.com. They got a link to the article. It's by Jim Lynch. Very well written article. Check it out. And finally, we're going to end tonight's show talking about, they call it the coolest invention ever. I call it the end of the world. They're calling it smoke. This Harvard professor. All right, you got to look at this picture. This Harvard professor, they call him Lewis. And he has created an invention to inhale caffeine directly into your lungs and basically giving you a caffeine high. Now, I watch a lot of anime. I watch a lot of Doctor Who. And I've seen these contraption gizmos referenced in these sci-fi series, and I'm heavily influenced by that. I gotta say, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die, man. This is too much. I drink coffee. I'm not gonna say I don't drink coffee, because I do drink coffee. And sometimes I drink very strong coffee. But this kind of crosses the line for me. All right. You can call me old school. You can call me, what's the word I'm looking for? You can call me paranoid. But come on, man. Inhaling caffeine, what's next? I mean, people are going to start making cocktails. You go, okay, let's add some caffeine. Let's add some nicotine to it. Yeah, I can do nicotine. I don't have to get lung cancer. I can just put nicotine in there. Ooh, straight drug. So I don't know, guys. It's crazy. I mean, like I said, I drink coffee. I haven't had a cup of coffee since Monday. Yeah, I don't think I had coffee all week, and I don't have the shakes, you know. So I don't consider myself addicted to it. I can pretty much stop drinking coffee and be fine. I just have to go to bed earlier. But this is catered towards all-nighters. Too much coffee already in your stomach and hangovers, according to this guy. It's a lipstick-style container. Each one is equivalent to a shot of espresso. And he says it's going to be a huge hit. Apparently, they're sold out already. They're going to be coming more more going to be coming soon. I don't know, man. I don't do the no dose. I don't do all that crazy stuff. You know, the main thing I do is caffeine. But wow. And I referred to Doctor Who because they went to a time period where people were it looked almost just like that. They were inhaling these things and they were giving them some kind of euphoria and they were addicted to it. And, you know, society crumbled, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was like, zombies. I think even, you guys remember RoboCop 2? I think they had the little, what was it called? It was the name of a drug in RoboCop 2. It looked like a little pouch thing. I think you stick it in your neck and you just squeeze. Oh man, I really it frightens me. I don't like it. Anyway, check it out. It's over on BusinessInsider.com. This Harvard professor seems to think it's ingenious. I think it's the beginning of the end of the world. And that concludes episode 241 of Bwana.org Radio. I want to end the show on a happy note, so there you go. We're here live at live.bwana.tv. We try to get started around 8:30ish. Sometimes we start a little late. Even sometimes we start a little earlier. I want to encourage you to come by and join the chat room. They discuss the topics as I discuss them, and we have a great time over here. Also, I want you to join our forums over at bwana.org/forum. We have a bunch of tech topics over there, help sections. You can discuss the show, introduce yourself, exchange gamer IDs, all kinds of cool things on bwana.org/forum. So check us out over there. All right, folks, that concludes episode 241 of Bwana.org Radio, and I will see you next time.